Hi everyone, I'm Kenny McIntosh from WhatCulture.com. You might remember me from such ominously disliked videos as the Royal Rumble was great, which is the second most disliked video on WhatCulture of all time. If only I can just get to that level of Ben Potter from when he said, "The Undertaker turned up. That was fun." That was the video. 30 seconds. Then there's like an ad for a magazine. Anyway, this is Ups and Downs and I've been drafted in. Long-time watchers of this channel will remember the last time I was drafted into Fast Count, something that takes Jack the Jobber 12 hours to do and I can do in 1. So, Ups and Downs apparently is basically when I do some ups for Raw and some downs for Raw. So I'm going to try and, now I'm quite positive, so if you are someone who really dislikes WWE, then it's probably not a good idea to watch this video, because I'm probably going to be more complimentary to it than you would like me to be, and then you're going to get annoyed at me and then you tweet me, so let's just be friends. Let's just agree to be friends. And also, the other thing going against me is that usually you have the bald muscle man god that is Simon Miller, and I have 3% of the muscle mass that he has, so it's not as sexy. Anyway, here's to the ups and the downs. So first, it's obviously going to be an up because I'm hugely positive, but I actually thought the opening segment of this show was pretty good. We had the debut of Samoa Joe properly as a member of the roster when Stephanie McMahon had a contract for him to sign. But what was so good about this segment was Mick Foley finally no longer was Stephanie McMahon's bitch. He was standing up for himself. He was refusing to be happy about the signing of Samoa Joe after taking out Seth Rollins last week on Raw. We had Samoa Joe looking suave in a suit, and then we had Roman Reigns coming out for a heated confrontation. Now, Roman Reigns is about effective as a babyface as the Pope is at Pilled in a nightclub, but in spite of that, we got a heated confrontation that set up the main event. I think it did the job. Stephanie was in it, which kind of, drags it down a little, but still, it's an up. Or as Yaz and the Plastic Population would say, the only way is up. That was a song from the 80s, because I'm old. This show would continue to be pretty good, so the ups are going to be here for a little while longer. And the ups are there, aren't they? The downs are there and the ups are there. Anyway, okay, so this is another up. We had Bayley going up against Nia Jax. They announced that next week on Raw, Bayley is going to get her next opportunity at facing Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship. So she had a match this week with Nia Jax. And this match was pretty good for both competitors. Bayley still looking like the underdog, valiantly trying to fight her way to beat the monster. And Nia Jax still looks indestructible. And in the end, Charlotte would come out to cost Bayley the match, letting Nia Jax get a Samoan drop and get a pin for the 1-2-3. It seems that we are leading to that 4-way at WrestleMania with Nia Jax, Charlotte, Sasha and Bayley, and this did another good amount of work to getting us towards that point. But next week we get Bayley and Charlotte in the title match, and this made me want to see it, so that's why this is also an up. So then we had Braun Strowman on Raw destroying 4 jobbers. Can you guess where my finger is going to go? Not in that way, but like, it's up. It's up. It's for the person who's doing this video, they need to know whether it's an up or a down, so this is an up. Braun Strowman defeats 4 jobbers. He was smacking people on the chest, he was flinging them across the ring, and then he piled them up. Well, one of them ran away. That was the smart one. That's what I would do. If I was in the ring with Braun Strowman, I would run away. I'd also probably, defecate in my own trousers. But that's another story, we don't really need to get into that. But he piled all the jobbers up and pinned them all together. He is glorious. Who would have thought a year ago that we would be saying Braun Strowman is great? But he is. Like, I genuinely love him. I want to give him a hug. I mean, I wouldn't because he would kill me. But Braun Strowman's great. He beat 4 jobbers. That's just so good. I love it. We had the debut of Akira Tozawa on Raw. He was on 205 last week, but nobody watches that. So on Raw this week, he debuted facing Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak, who is one of the most nondescript men I've ever seen in my life. But Akira Tozawa, now I've been recently not watching cruiserweight matches or the cruiserweight segments because they're not really, I'm not really feeling it. But this week I was kind of watching Akira Tozawa and I was captivated by him. I thought he was really good. He hit lots of swift kicks, he had the crowd in the palm of his hand, and in the end, he hit a German suplex that would make Brock Lesnar jealous. Akira Tozawa seems like the guy that could go on to face Neville in a match that I think fans would really care about. And that's what this cruiserweight division needs. It needs people that we care about, people that we believe in or want to see beat up the bad guy. And Akira Tozawa seems to have that it factor that could do it. So Akira Tozawa, his debut on Raw, the thumbs are up. Friendship goals, ladies and gentlemen, friendship goals! Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, they're the best, I love them. They come out on Raw and they want to be the best friends that face off against each other in the main event at WrestleMania. Why wouldn't they? That's what me and Adam Pacitti want to do one day. We want a main event WrestleMania. Him and his little gold pants, me and my Andre singlet, take the one strap down when I'm ready to do the finish. That's what we want. And if we were in WWE, we'd be doing the same thing. But Who came to rain on the parade? Goldberg came to rain on the parade. Goldberg, I mean, imagine if you were in the United Kingdom, where could you ever see Goldberg? I don't know. Inside the ropes.co.uk. Anyway, but Goldberg came out, he interrupted, he accepted Brock Lesnar's challenge for WrestleMania, so we're going to get Goldberg versus Brock at WrestleMania. We all knew anyway. I mean, everybody, if you're watching this and you didn't think that was going to happen, you knew. I mean, you really knew. Come on. Anyway, he accepts the match at WrestleMania. We're going to have Goldberg versus Brock, but then to throw a spanner in the works, Goldberg challenges Kevin Owens. Well, he doesn't challenge him, it's more so Chris Jericho makes the match for Kevin Owens. It's going to be Goldberg, Kevin Owens for the Universal title at Fastlane. Chris Jericho was excellent here, goading his best friend into facing Goldberg. I mean, I'll be honest, if Adam Pacitti goaded me into facing Goldberg, our friendship would be over. Deleted off Facebook, deleted off Twitter, it would be over. Over. Don't put me in a match with Goldberg, Pacitti. Ever. But this was good. Now, this is the point in the video that you've all been waiting for. We finally got it down. I'm finally going to say something negative about WWE. The tag team division in WWE has been pretty pants recently. American Alpha over on SmackDown, they're good, but there's nobody else there really to feud with. But on Raw, we had the Club win the tag team titles at the Royal Rumble, and now we had a match on Raw with the Club against Cesaro and Sheamus. And I just wasn't feeling it. Like, we had Enzo and Cass at ringside. Don't really know why they were at ringside. At least they've stopped bullying Rusev and Lana. That's a plus. But in the end, Enzo and Cass would get involved, there'd be a DQ, and the Club retains. So now, it appears that the tag team titles are going to have Enzo and Cass, Cesaro and Sheamus, and the Club. And there's just nothing to it. There's not really a story, there's not really anything exciting going on. And I grew up in the days of like the Legion of Doom and the Nasty Boys. And the Nasty Boys were pants, but at least they were good heels. And then the Legion of Doom were amazing, they had the big shoulder pads. I mean, I'm really aging myself here, but there's not really a big story. The Club are a bit lukewarm. Cesaro and Sheamus, I mean, we love them, but there's not really much happening. So as much as I love Sheamus and Cesaro, I think Enzo and Cass are deplorable humans who should not be babyfaces, and the Club are a bit lukewarm. So, or as Triple H said. And then later on Raw, we had another tag team match with the New Day against the Shining Stars. The Shining Stars of the Caribbean. Can you imagine how crap the Caribbean must be if that is the shining star of it? But the New Day are like pretty much collectively our favourite tag team. They're so fun, they put smiles on our faces, they've got their own cereal, they had a unicorn that looked like a penis that lit up. What's not to love about the New Day? And at the beginning they were promoting that they might give us ice cream, and I was all ready to give one of these, and then we got this meaningless match. The New Day, who are like the most exciting tag team in WWE, and they've got nothing going on. They were facing Titus O'Neil for like 3 weeks, now they're facing the Shining Stars. Like, it's the New Day. These are the guys that came out of a giant-sized cereal box at WrestleMania. They made Steve Austin jive. They should be doing more. So before, I told you about Triple H when he did this. So now, it's time to do the Batista. Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn battled out last week on Raw, and Sami Zayn got the victory, so it only made sense that this week, Sami Zayn gets the title shot against Chris Jericho. Could Sami Zayn become the United States champion? People all over Twitter were saying, maybe Kevin Owens is going to cost Sami Zayn the match, or cost Chris Jericho the match even, and Sami Zayn would become the US champion. But in the end, after a really hard fought match where we had Blue Thunder Bombs, Walls of Jericho, all the big stuff, we had Kevin Owens super kick Sami Zayn, helping his best friend to retain his championship. The story continues. Every time we see Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, they are so full of friendship and lovey-dovey stuff, but there's a hint there that any night now, one of them could turn on the other. We know it's coming. We want it to happen, but we still love them together. And that's the beauty of this story, and I think we'll look back on it as a beautiful story. So that's why this part gets an up, but also, next week on Raw, we're gonna get the Festival of Friendship. I mean, that's gonna be terrible, but the only people who can maybe not make it terrible is Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. I can't wait. We had Sasha Banks in the trainer's room. Now, do you know, I had this as an up, and I have a sheet of paper, right, and I had it as an up. I'm going to change it here because I'm going to pander to the downers here, because originally I was thinking you've got Sasha Banks who was in the trainer's room and Charlotte comes in and basically goads her about how bad she is right now, and I thought that's great because that's furthering the story that Sasha Banks will turn heel soon. But the more I think about it, why was Sasha Banks in the building? Why was she in the trainer's room? Why did she fly in? We had another cruiserweight segment on the show where we had Austin Aries interviewing Neville, which turned into 5 other cruiserweights throwing their name in the hat to get a championship match. We had Noam Dar, Cedric Alexander, Jack Gallagher, Tony Nese, and TJ Perkins. But the best part of this whole thing is Austin Aries, in his little pocket, his little suit jacket pocket, he had a banana. He had a banana in his suit jacket pocket. Potassium. Austin Aries. The greatest man that ever lived. Maybe he's going to come back with a cape and win the Cruiserweight title. But in the meantime, Neville is pretty much the best Cruiserweight around. He's a dick, he doesn't care, he's happy to be a heel, and we've got 5 contenders who all want to win the title. This is the most compelling part of the Cruiserweight division so far. We turned it into a 6-man tag with the heels and the babyfaces, and Neville even threatened to do a dive, but because he's a heel, he didn't do it, because heels don't want to make people happy. They want to make them sad and make people see them get beat up. This was a good 6-man tag, it's further in the story, and in 205 Live we're going to get a fatal 5-way to see who faces Neville at Fastlane. Storyline continuity is good. 2 months. He's had the banana for 2 months? Right. So apparently Austin Aries had the banana for 2 months, and I've just been fast forwarding through the Cruiserweights. So I've not seen it. So it's new to me, but I like the banana. You already know about it, and I'm just becoming more of a sham of a broadcaster. So I don't deserve to get paid. I should just donate it to charity. It is main event time on Raw, Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. I was so terrified that Roman Reigns may beat Samoa Joe in his debut match on Raw. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Samoa Joe looked great. He held his own with Roman Reigns, and in the end, Roman Reigns almost got the victory, but then we had Braun Strowman come out, cause the distraction. Samoa Joe gets the victory on Raw, and then Braun Strowman murders Roman Reigns. All of our thumbs, I think we can agree, will go up for that. Roman Reigns murdered by Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe wins, the world is right again. So overall, this show was pretty damn good. A lot of ups, a couple of downs, but I think it was good. I know that usually you like to see a little bit more downage in your up and downs, and I promise you if I come back, I'll find one more down next time. I will, for you, because I love you people. Even though you don't love me, there's 4,675 of you that hate me. And it keeps me awake at night. Like, it keeps me awake to buy these kind of t-shirts. Gorilla Monsoon, £4, Euroshop. You don't care. So I'm gonna go eat a sandwich, and Simon will be back next week. He's muscly, and yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go eat a banana.